of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters. These heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl, Josh, and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
Here we go. Ready? Everybody ready? We good?
We could clap.
We're gonna clap. Yay. Hey.
This
Yay.
will be great for syncing.
Yeah. Sync the picture to it.
I'm not using my hands.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Wrong so fast.
It's gonna be one of those episodes again. I'm not drinking anything this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll try my best not to
That's
say something.
Total lie. I have ginger ale. Okay, let's get this started. Welcome to Tokudon! Yay!
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 It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, because life. So this is episode 13. We are doing a review of Madan Senki Ryukendo.
It's a lucky episode.
It's a lucky episode. Lucky 13. That's what the kids call it, right? So we did our random roll. If you guys haven't heard any other episodes, we do our random roll of a list of 402 different shows, and we watch the first 10 episodes and review them. And just to get it out of the way, I made it to 7. So yeah, we're batting 1,000 on that one.
I went extra this week to make up for all the dead time I had.
I mean, the Shadow Realm, all that. Yeah.
I got to 6, but it's not because I hated this one.
Yes. No, I actually, initial impressions right off the bat, I actually kind of enjoyed this, especially compared to the last few that we've watched. I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. It was different.
No weird songs to get stuck in your head for the rest of your life.
Well, I mean, except
we don't talk about that.
No, we're going to talk about it.
It doesn't even get stuck in your head. It's not even like annoying or anything.
It's just, there's no like.
Actually, the background.
Well, you're gonna have that playing for the rest of this episode.
Yep, it's our theme song now. Honestly, we should just make it the theme song.
What do you think, Ben? Ben? Oh, I'm sorry. Were you saying something? I was thinking of. Anyway, what's going on? I was just dancing. My bad.
Okay, baby. So let's kind of just start rolling through the episodes. So it starts off with I thought it was going to be a lot more interesting of an opening of like just police officers like lined up in a barricade on a street and a dude slowly walking towards them.
Wait. That is not how this begins. This begins with like a weird ass clip show before the series even begins. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh yeah.
I skipped that, honestly, because we watched a YouTube playlist that had the episodes in it, and the first one is a very like poorly synced clip show thing. I got like 2 minutes into it and I was like, I just want to watch the real show.
Yeah, because I watched as much as I could, but it was like talking to the audience like you should know who these people are, and I'm like, I don't understand.
I feel like
wrong order?
I thought that's what credits were for.
Yeah. It felt like, you know how whenever you download like Kamen Rider, there's always like the henshin lessons and all that kind of stuff, and it felt like kind of one of those, but for whatever reason they just put it as like episode 0, so I don't know how it like actually aired or anything. But that's kind of what it felt like. But yeah, the actual episode 1 is, our main character. I don't even remember his name. What's his name? Is it Kenji?
I called him Blue.
Yeah, he's Ryukendo. That's his name, Ryukendo. Okay. He is just like walking. It is Kenji. Okay, yeah, it's Kenji. Kenji's just like walking down the street towards this like police barricade, and And I was like, oh, here we go. This is kind of cool. What's he going to do, Mr. Swordman? And then there's just a puppy and purple putties that come out of nowhere.
Speaking of the putties, I couldn't not see that they resembled the Eye of Truth from Zelda.
Yes.
So that's what they were
for
the entire series. Just
truth putties.
The Eye of Truth, and then the red Eye of Truth, and the blue one, and whatever. But yeah.
And then we had the floating Dr. Worm. He was an interesting looking foe. He was weird.
Yeah, he made it very uncomfortable every time.
And like, up. I couldn't tell. Like, it was weird because it starts off with, I feel like his eyes were closed, or they like painted over it with makeup to make it look like they were closed.
I was having a hard time figuring out if it was his actual face or a mask.
Yeah, like it almost looked like a half mask, like one of those like wrestler open face things. But like, and then I don't know. And then later it's just like they just accentuate like his lines on his face, and it's his actual face, and his eyes are open all the time. I don't know. It was a very weird design and a bad guy.
Yeah.
But he brings his army of purple Koopa Trooper putties and attacks the police. And
it feels like you should like this. Like they just really didn't know how to start this series.
Yeah.
Because you have that first that 0 episode, I guess, was that talks to the audience like they should know who these people are, and then it jumps into okay, well these people are already being attacked here.
Yeah. But like, and then like everyone's just okay with it too. Like they open up all the shutters and everything, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, no, the monsters attacked us, whatever."
It felt like there needed to be like a Star Wars scrolling scene where it's just like explaining the history of this world up to this point.
And then like you had bakery, the croquette guy, who just like is the exposition dump for the episode of what's going on. Because this guy just like wandered in.
Oh, you found my dog that I left out in the middle of the street for 40 minutes while the cops set up a barricade.
Yeah, that dude
Thanks,
like that dude also like stole the dog back very aggressively. I was a little like worried the dog was going to get hurt. I was like, all right, dude, relax.
I would have had questions like, okay, I just found this dog fighting putties. You're going to have to prove that he's your dog more than just, oh, hey, yeah, that's mine. Okay, bye.
Also, like, he explained it's been going on for like was it 2 years
6 months or something like that.
6 months, and like no one outside of the city realized, oh hey, we're being attacked by demons. But
because they actually do mention it, and it's the most crap excuse ever because it was on the news, and then they said it turned into a cover up, so no one knows about it outside of the town.
Well, then that would. I mean, I'm assuming the Ryukendos are probably there too, but to start off a season with a barricade of cops who clearly can't do anything, and then to say it's been going on for 6 months, it's like, well, the cops must be doing something right if they're still here after 6 months of fighting these guys and missing every shot.
They're really good punching bags. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. They did have the one dude. The one dude was already there.
Which yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ryukendo or whatever. I don't remember his name. The red
guy
one.
and guy.
Yeah, Jushiro Fudo. There you go. His name's
Which
Fudo.
really, considering he had a gun, it just seemed like, and he actually could hit things. The sword guy just seemed kind of.
But like the gun
really
seemed like horribly underpowered too. Like it's shooting a lot of these putty dudes, and it's just not really doing anything. And like he kind of did go in that first episode. He went a little like John Wick. That was kind of cool. He was like holding the one putty down and like shooting the other ones and like flipping them over and shooting more. I thought that was kind of cool. And then after that first little fight, we get one of my favorite lines I think I've seen in any of the shows we reviewed so far, because they're talking about, was it SHOT is the secret organization. They're talking about, the regular cops are like, oh, this isn't my jurisdiction. And Kenji's like, my heart is the jurisdiction or something like that. He's just like, everything in my heart
brave.
is... Yeah.
My heart is brave.
Brave in.
And jurisdiction.
So that was something. Oh boy, I got a good chuckle out of that.
Speaking, or like comparing between the Braves and like just those two different shows, it was another, like the first episode was another example of one of those, hi, I just stumbled into your city. Just a normal dude looking for work. Great. Have we got a spot open for you? You look like the kind of guy who could use an alien sword to become some ninja. Yeah, sure, that sounds cool.
Yeah, no, fine.
All right, well, come on in.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't he like falling out of the sky when they're like,
He took a stick to that big metal grasshopper, and then he's like holding onto the back of it. That was because it was flying into space, and the sword straight up like flies into his chest to knock him off.
I like. So what would have happened if it didn't work? Well, you probably would have fallen to your death.
Yeah.
There was a chance.
And then,
Oh.
The sword's like,
Next.
hey, can you get better faster? No? Okay. Well, I'm just going to take over your body if that's cool. And I'm going to be cool for a second. So, yeah. I was like, oh, that's a good way to explain how he just knows things, I guess.
No time to explain.
Yeah.
But you got hit by a sword, so now you're one of us. Who are you? I'll explain. Never mind. There's no time to explain. Just kill this guy.
Just give me your body.
Yeah,
you just ride me.
That is like a different story altogether.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
It was
give me
just,
your body.
I don't know. It was weird. The monster designs are weird. I don't know how I feel about them. The grasshopper was just like a giant grasshopper with like a really beastie mouth.
I didn't really see too many variations for like the first 5 or 6 episodes. It was all just the putties and then like that one
Whatever big CG monster. Like
and then there was like the fire putty, but he's still basically just
I
a
got
putty.
very
It's a cool
confused in that
concept,
episode.
but-
No.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the first episode's very like
Yeah.
stereotypical Tokusatsu first episode where like main character inherits his power and just magically uses it. And then the second episode, he also meets some plant girl who I guess he has a crush on, but they have this weird like giggly moment where they just kind of like awkwardly smile at each other for like 5 minutes. Yeah, so
Wouldn't be a Toku otherwise.
yeah, it's true. It's just very like melodramatic and kind of soap opera-y. And then
Actually, speaking of the flower chick, because I know you guys didn't get to this episode, but with that singing, the statue we're talking about, that flower chick like ducks for cover as it's singing, and when the singing stops, she's like, "The flowers made it," like as if that was her priority. Just like, oh my gosh, the singing's over and the flowers are still alive.
yeah. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Everyone else is dead around her.
That's
You mean those same flowers that tried to kill you episode 2?
Yeah, the same
Yeah.
one. That exact same one.
Alright, cool.
Which,
Hey,
yeah, so
whatever
like
floats your boat.
the second episode, just you get Biollante.
Yeah.
It's just straight up. It's Biollante, like Burikuri or whatever. What does Dr. Worm say? Bureki. And so the way they create these monsters is it's kind of like the clay machine in Power Rangers, where he just like cooks them around some keys, and they just like spew out some kind of monster. So that's also how the main character like gets new power upgrades and stuff. Who seems to hog all of them. Like the gun dude didn't get any of them.
Gun dude. Red mode.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
Can you
red.
do anything else?
He gets that cool knuckle
Redder
blaster
mode.
thing. That thing's kind of cool.
And what's funny is it's not like he's even hogging them. Like in the later episodes, the scientist guy that works on the keys for them is like, I personally have taken this key and redesigned it for only you,
Yeah.
not that guy. Oh, cool. Well, we have another key too. I'll get to work on it for you. And the other guy's kind of just like, all right, that's fine. I mean, that's his 5th key in a row now, but
Yeah.
no, it's
not,
cool.
No, you're not playing favorites. It's not creating a hostile work environment. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not like he only just showed up on the street one day with
Yeah.
a dog. That's
Yeah.
fine. I get it.
It's cool. No, it's fine. I've only been here for how long?
That
15
guy's
years?
kind of a dick too.
Yeah.
The good guy's kind of a dick too, so it's not like
I also got like really confused the first time the like director guy came downstairs in like a janitor outfit. I was like, what? And he's just like, yeah, no, I'm a janitor. Surprise. I'm actually the director. I was like, oh, okay. Cool. So yeah, in the second episode, he gets, what's that?
it bothers me how like inept the police are just in general in this series.
Yeah, they're Oh Lord, the three. Yeah, let's talk about them for a second, actually, before we keep going into the episodes, because
it's not just them; it's like the entire police force.
Yeah,
they're given guns, and they're given guns, and their order right away is never use these.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's dumb.
And what's up with like the police station being like a homeless person, child daycare, mini mall?
Can we talk about the dude with like the afro and the mustache for a second, who's just in like every scene somehow? Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like every scene, I'm like in the background, he's there and like running towards like the plant and everything, and I was like, who is this man? He's the he's the Demon King, isn't he?
2 episodes.
I thought it was funny. Like he pops up in like the 3rd or 4th episode again too.
I looked at him and I was like, that's kind of racist.
It's just like just looked at it and I was like, do you really have like a dollar store mustache on? Is that really the costume we're going with?
Dollar store wig on.
Yeah, that too.
He's that guy in the series where like when it came out, like watching it now you wouldn't know, but when it came out, it's like, if you find him in every episode by the end of the season and you put in this promo code, you'll win a trip to blah blah blah.
He wears a shirt that spells out the secret code in every episode. Oh man. Oh, that guy was so weird. It was like, Where's Waldo? It was ridiculous. So in the 2nd episode, I'm sorry, getting back to the police guys. So like, there's 3 heads of the police apparently, and like each one is a different division, but they're all equally like idiots.
Right?
Is that did I get that correct? I was very confused. Okay, so like the main dude is the loud one. He was the one who was like, "Hey guys, come with me," when all those screws were falling out of the sky. He's just, I don't know, that was weird. And then there's the other 2 that are just like Larry, Moe, and Curly. Like, I get what they were going for, because that's probably what they were going for, that like Three Stooges kind of thing. But like, I don't. How did these people get this job? Like,
what's funny to think about too is like the episode you're talking about with the screws, where like he was boasting that the police force is so great and all that, and everyone follows him. The people that followed him are the same ones that were locked up in their houses and clearly saw 2 guys wearing android suits kill the demons while the cops ran away.
Well, I mean, it's
and yet those same people are like, "Oh my gosh, the cops, they're great. We love them. They help us."
It's totally
no,
them.
They don't. You
don't
saw it. You know what happened.
I just, that was, it's what am I trying to articulate here? I think the part with the kendos, I don't know what you want to call them, the Ryus and the Madans, I think that stuff is actually super cool. It's the rest of it that kind of like weighs it down, because it's not great or like really funny, and it probably just hasn't aged well either. It probably would have been funny if I did watch it back in 2007 or whenever this aired. I mean, it's a kid show too, but yeah, I just like, there was that episode with the weird tank thing where not Batman challenged Dr. Worm to like actually go fight. Was that the 3rd or 4th episode? I think.
I think it was 3.
3, yeah.
Where he sacrifices the putties and he's like, "You guys take it from here," and then he disappears.
Yeah, he just rolls off. I was like, "Oh, bye."
No one can defeat me in my tank except maybe that guy. All right, I'm gonna head out quick.
Yeah. Whatever one the main Kenji ends up like trouncing around the city with the 2 girls.
That is episode 3.
It's episode 3. Okay.
That is really early into this.
Yeah. It was weird when they did that like big like bird's eye view like Tetris shot thing that they were doing.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? Yeah, of like where the tank was, and then like it showed Ryukendo, and then Ryukendo was just kind of like there, but like then he would just drive into a building. It was just some of the choices are just strange in this show. I don't know.
And they hop between camera quality too a lot. Like most of the time, it looked like I was watching like a PBS special, and then it cuts to like Disney XD, like late 2000s kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like two different shows going on at the same time.
It was almost like they did like the Power Rangers Frankenstein thing, but like reshot it with like much better cameras at some point. But there's some like, I'm all for them like episodes doing different things and like trying different styles to convey a point. It was kind of jarring sometimes too, just like episode to episode, because they didn't seem to have a solid style that went through. But I mean, that might change. You know, there's plenty of shows that the first 10, 20 episodes it's one way, and then by the end of it, it's a completely different way. Especially in like Kamen Rider, that happens quite a lot actually, because they switch like head showrunners or writers, whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I also feel like Kenji just like isn't a very interesting protagonist because he doesn't seem to really do or grow in any way, shape, or form.
It's very jumpy.
Yeah.
Like from the get-go, he gets his powers, and that's fine. But then he immediately knows how to use them in the next episode, and he helps the other guy like fight off a horde of demons.
I wouldn't say he knows how to use them, because there's and we're in the tank episode. He is literally unable to control his own motorcycle because he's just that inept. So it's not like he has a mastery of his power.
For me, like it feels like they never really explained how what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of just got it, and then he did this stuff.
The dragon's giving him, the crash course, and that's about it.
And then the next episode, like, he has a new key that gives him a second form, but he can't use it for some reason that they didn't explain, and then he can use it, or, like, it was a little...
You're talking about the Aqua Key?
A little here and there, yeah.
Yeah. So he gets... The main character can get different forms, like most main characters do in Tokusatsu. The first one he gets is fire, then aqua, and then he gets a thunder one later, which is kind of cool. But yeah, he has they each have these little like beastie vehicle things that come with them, and those change depending on what form he's in as well. You find out later towards some of the later episodes he gets a different animal for each form. But yeah, his main one is a lion trike. Is that what they called it? Leo trike, something like that.
It's a lion and it turns into a tricycle, so
yeah,
probably.
Yeah, it's some like really on the nose name. It's actually called Leon Trike, yeah. I'm looking at the wiki right now. Yeah. And he just like, apparently they can communicate. And I got really confused at one point because I think Ryugendo's dragon thing was like talking, but I thought it was the wolf talking. And I thought they just had the same voice, and I was very confused. And then I don't know, he just like is talking to the lion, and the lion just like acknowledges him, and that's about it. So I don't know if they can talk or not. I really couldn't tell.
Yeah, I have no idea. It was hard for me to keep up with the voices and who they were coming out of.
Yeah, like the colored subtitles helped a little bit, but it was very, yeah, I don't know. I needed like a moving toy mouth or something. But when he gets fire in the second episode. I think it was just from the key that they got in the first episode, right? That's just how he got fired.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like we finally synced up. Here's a free unlock.
Yeah,
like new ability because we're good now.
Yeah, so of course he kills the plant with the fire because he just lights it on fire. Makes sense.
He kills the entire 12,000 foot 10-story tall plant with one slash of a fire blade,
which is like a little like campfire.
The entire thing ignites in less than a second.
It's wild.
You also have people inside of it.
They're fine. It's the goop that on them. It's fireproof. It's fine. So yeah, this big plant with like open mouths. I thought the mouths were super creepy. Actually, they looked very, I don't know, unsettling.
It's kind of like Cell's tail.
Yeah.
We should also talk about the bad guys, or whatever you want to call
the demon.
They
people.
feed off of emotion,
negative emotion.
Negative emotion.
Jamunga. That's what they're called. Jamunga. So yeah, the oof.
I love
that movie.
I feel like they were going about this all wrong. All they need to do is like kidnap a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And just scare the shit out of them on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Beat them, torture them. I don't know. There's a lot of ways to get negative emotions out of people. Insult them. Whatever.
Yeah.
And they didn't need to, okay, well, we're just going to go to this town over here where these people who can actually fight against us live. No, let's just steal some people. Makes more sense.
Well, even in a later episode, there's they got emotion by just confusing people. Like, some dude's riding down the street and there's this pretty lady with an umbrella with her back turned, and the guy's checking her out. And the lady turns around and it's one of the putty dudes, and he just flips off his bike what, and hits the ground, and you see whatever that
ghost
negative
thing
goes up. Yeah. So they're not even they don't even have to kill people. They're just weird enough that people get confused.
Yeah.
They never have to kill anyone. That's my dire point. Is they could just have a farm of people that they just keep going back to day after day. They don't need to go to the town.
All they got to do is mess with the 3 chief police.
Yeah, right. They should just kidnap those 3 idiots and just do it that way.
They don't even have to do anything. Just stare at them.
And it goes into that weird, reality butthole thing that comes out of the sky. That was very strange.
Just seems that they're putting a lot more effort into this than what's really necessary for them to summon their demon god person.
Yeah. I had a very, Boo vibe to it when they're trying to revive him. It was gotta collect the energy to revive him. But I will say the other guy, Jack Moon, I only saw up to, there were still only 2 of them, but there's a whole list of people here. But Jack Moon is actually kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie. That's not Batman. He seemed. That's
the guy with the creepy face dude.
That's the swordsman guy.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's very typical swordsman bad guy thing, where he's I must find a strong opponent and kill them. Meh, meh, meh. And he literally looks like the Another Kamen Riders from Zeo. If they did one for Kamen Rider Knight from Ryuki, that's what he looks like. He looks like another knight. He straight up has the face visor similar to that that goes up into the points and everything.
He looks like the Batman that laughed.
Yes, that's a better comparison. Yeah, it's just he was kind of cool. That episode was kind of cool, right? Was it? I mean, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was. If you compare it to the rest, it was definitely
cool, super cool.
I liked the design for the Batman that laughed in this series, which I feel like they could make a case against DC and maybe win some money, but I'm not going to.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. But, so, like I said before, the motivation for these guys is to revive their leader / god /
Demon King
whatever.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But the sword guy, he scoffs at the other guy for using magic and doing all this stuff. I'm but he's actually doing something to revive this guy. You're just kind of walking around doing nothing, and when you do have, he has one, at least the episodes I saw, he had one where he was kind of doing something, and then he's okay, whatever, I'll come back later.
Yeah.
You're not helping the mission here, buddy. You don't get the right to laugh at the other dude if the other dude's doing a shit ton more than you.
And then he even threatens to kill the other dude. He's yeah, just don't mess with me or I'll take you out. Yeah. And then I'll revive the dude.
I'll do it myself. It's what? I don't know. That episode, he did that really cool black hole dimension thing. That was neat. Apparently, he's voiced by Johnny Young Bosch in the dub. So there's that.
What?
That makes the episode.
There's a dub apparently.
There's a dub of this?
Apparently, I don't know. It says Jack Moon was portrayed by Mitsutoshi Kiko and voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. This was it did premiere on Disney something.
Knew there was a dub. I would have gone to that one right away.
I can't see, but I remember reading it somewhere. It was it was it aired on Disney or something like that. cannot find it at the moment. If someone knows, just shoot us a message or
The series was
something.
based in rerun Japanese. No.
Where did I read? Disney XD in 2013. There you go. Oh, that was on India, but I don't know if it was an
It was
English one.
broadcast in India. Yeah.
I don't know. It could. Weirder things have happened. I don't know. It just says portrayed by Johnny Youngbosh, but it's also a wiki, so they could have just made that up and did their like sweet headcanon of who they wanted to voice him.
Yeah, I don't think it actually came to him anywhere that
it'd
actually
be
had English.
Interesting.
We got Brazil. We got Portuguese. It was Hindi.
That's the Indian one, probably. The
Maybe Bosch knows some Hindi.
maybe I don't know. It's possible. Maybe there's another one named Johnny Young Bosch, another person. So like they're just I don't know. Dr. Worm is being fucking creepy. And like they're trying to revive this demon god guy, and Dr. Worm is just like drooling into a pot to make monsters come out. I don't know what he's doing. He like does his crazy eyes, and then a monster hologram thing pops out, and that's really all that happens with them. They really don't do anything in these couple episodes.
They don't even explain how they travel. He's just like, oh, I have this toy.
Yeah.
And now it's in that city.
Yeah. And then it's just like, they also just don't really explain them at all. Like, they're just there. They're there. They're fucking shit up.
And it's also odd because it sort of seems like the negative energy that he's gathering is what he's using to make those monsters.
Yeah.
Which is counterproductive. Like, we got to get 10,000 negative energy to bring the demon back. We have 5,000. Let's spend 4,000 of it to make this metal dude.
Yeah. I mean, it totally makes sense. It's basic math.
That's
I don't know what
why
you guys are talking
need a human farm.
about. Exactly.
That you could just get all the negative energy you need.
The more I think about it, like the more there's just a lot of holes. That I just don't.
Yeah, but you're gonna get a lot of holes with any of these series.
That's true.
There's no such thing as these. Even the ones we love have huge plot holes.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. So let's see. So that's the bad guys. They're just kind of there. There's not a whole lot to them, honestly. There's really only the two. Like I said, there's a huge list on the wiki here, but we only saw two, I think. Did you see any extra ones, Ben?
Extra of what?
The bad guys, the Jamunga.
The main dudes.
Did you see any like?
Okay, so there was the mantis thing in the first episode. Then there was the guy that drops the weights out of the sky.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're just talking about like the generals.
There seems to be like Dr. Worm and Jack Moon. Like, there's a list of 5 or 6 of these guys.
I didn't see any.
Baron Bloody, Rock Crimson, Lady Gold. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's also like 40 or
50 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they come along at some point.
Sprinkled in, you just.
Yeah. So the getting back to the monster beastie bike things, the Ryukendo has a wolf, which is kind of cool, pretty cool. That tries to pull the big tank at one point in episode 3. That was weird. They're trying to like hold it, and he's just pulling it. I was like, this seems counterproductive, but okay. But when he goes into Fire Ryukendo, he gets the gorilla, which I thought was kind of cool. That gorilla was pretty sick.
What was his name? Fire Kong?
Yeah, Fire Kong. But he turns into just cannons that strap onto his back.
Optimus Prime?
Yeah, he's literally Optimus Prime. He looks like the one from Beast Machines.
Yep.
Do you mean Optimus Primal? Let's get our primes right here.
It's whatever. It's the same thing.
It would be like the middle form. So you'd have the gorilla Optimus, and then you have the tank Optimus. Fire Kong is the one in the middle, the transition guy.
He's the Jet Optimus. That's what it is.
Transmetal.
Yeah. When he had the surfboard, that one.
Yeah, that's the trans. Yeah. I don't know why I know this. I haven't seen this since I was.
Because we were all about it for a very long time. Yeah, so Fire Kong turns into this big cannon thing that straps onto him, and he fires cannons for his final attack, which is kind of cool. While Gunboy over here is just hanging out with his wolf, not really doing anything. He gets a shark when he gets the water one. That was pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he just rides the shark like a surfboard. That's the attack. And I don't know. He gets an eagle for the thunder, but I don't know what their final attack thingy is. And then I know when they gets like a final form at some point. It's just like all of them together doing a big dumb like spiral drill attack like he does with the lion. It's wild. The show is wild.
Yeah.
Do you guys know like what these dragon arm things are? Did they ever explain that at any point? Did I just miss it?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything because there's apparently a third person too, Ryukendo, who uses like a staff. And I was watching some clips.
I thought I was gonna see the reveal of him, but there was a weird cut, so they were actually like something happened with the main character's device, whatever it is. So I thought they were gonna reveal a new character.
Yeah. When
it teleported to him, it ended up just being him anyway, like they were separated or something.
Gotcha.
So that was a little disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know when this guy shows up, but he shows up at some point. There's a third one. He uses like a staff and a bow. It turns into a bow as well.
A bow staff?
Yes, he literally uses a bow staff. You dick.
You meant B-O-W
yes,
staff.
Yes, B-O-W
okay.
staff, yeah.
Okay.
It's basically a Monster Hunter weapon at that point, so that's cool. And then, yeah, I don't know really. I like the suit designs a lot. I really do.
I like the water.
You like the water one?
Most. Yeah.
Okay. I actually was a huge fan of the fire one. Honestly, it looked kind of cool. The red with the blue just looked kind of cool to me. And the way let's talk about that episode where like there's that weird random powered up putty for a second, because that was very jarring because it just kind of like threw you into a fight with it. Like,
wasn't that the ghost episode?
Yes, I was getting to that. So it just throws you into this fight with like a powered up putty that has like his fire ability suddenly, and then it just turns into like, if he uses the fire, I honestly don't remember, honestly.
No, it was put in solely for the purpose of giving the main character a reason to use his water form.
Okay.
Because they spend the entire beginning of that episode like, what about this hypothetical scenario?
Yeah.
The city's on fire.
Where he's
That'll
like
never
flying
happen.
across the building and putting out the water.
Just peeing on the windows. I got this. Yeah. And he's like, what if there's a bomb and I have to freeze it? Well, no, you'll freeze the entire place.
Yeah.
And then they're like, besides, none of this will ever happen. 5 seconds later, the whole city's on fire and there's a bomb somewhere. He's like, oh, well, while that's happening, let me fire Putty, who just happens to be the element that I can beat right now with this form.
Yeah. And then you find...
Why not?
And then, of course, who is his helper for this episode, but a ghost girl that's just been floating around that no one else can see, apparently.
Or can they?
I honestly don't know, because I thought she was just a regular person, and then they were like, oh, I can't see that. Who are you talking to?
Well, they might explain it later then, because the episode with the giant statue, she's talking to the scientist dude that works on the keys.
Oh, really?
So I don't know how that happened, but...
Yeah, I assumed it would be tied to the magic thing, because... Yeah.
Well, it's because, like, it's the normal detective girls that can't see her.
Yeah.
Who is he talking to? They acting like he's cheating on his girlfriend or something. What's going on? Why is he acting so weird? It's like, he's just talking to someone.
He's literally just talking to someone.
He just talked to that wall. I better let his girlfriend know.
Hey, plant lady, he's hit on a wall.
What?
It was... I was just very confused at what the ghost lady was. Apparently she was like the first head of the police department or something. I don't know what this has to do with anything. But
I think she was the first female head detective.
Yeah. I don't know.
She was probably the most competent one.
Probably. And she didn't even do anything. Like, I honestly don't know what she did in the episode other than, like, I'm a ghost. Go, go, go.
Well, she tried to tell him, you don't want to do that. He will fuck you up. And he didn't listen. And then he finally listened. He's like, yeah, you were trying to warn me all this time. He's like, yep. Told you. He would fuck you up.
And then he destroys the town himself, which was also interesting. That as he's fighting, the town is just literally catching fire.
Yep.
This show.
And what was weird too is the little blue ghost fandom things are the negative energy. And in that episode, there's a part where like the guy that he was living with is like trying to put the fires out on his house.
Yeah.
And like you see a ghost come out of the toaster, and then one comes out of his shades, and then his like carpet, and then the table, and you're like, I guess those inanimate objects aren't taking it too well.
They had a lot of feelings, okay?
Releasing all pent-up rage.
Yeah. There's just a lot of questions the show didn't answer. Is really what it comes down to. Because it shows you a lot of things and a lot of magic MacGuffins.
It may have answered it later down the road.
They may have. I honestly, are you guys going to watch any more of this after this?
Oh, yeah.
Probably not.
No.
I want to finish the episode with the singing.
Yeah, that's true. I actually really want to get to that episode.
I need closure on that.
I need...
But, I mean, I also, well, going back to the furniture and stuff, like, it kind of probably makes sense, because I think in one of their religions, like, everything has a spirit, so everything would have some kind of...
Is it Shintoism?
Well, then why are they tormenting people? Just find, like, some abandoned warehouse.
Punch a couch.
Some putties in.
Because people are a lot easier to get a negative emotion from than a carpet. You know how much you have to beat up a carpet before it starts caring?
Just set it on fire, man.
Just set it on fire.
Well, yeah, but also, once you've set the carpet on fire, that's it. Person, you could set them on fire a couple times and get, a little more boost every time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I guess.
But what if you had, like, one of those real frilly edged carpets and you just, like, burn one thread every day? You just did one of those. Get a lot out of that, right?
Maniacal laughter and a curly mustache.
Or you just put on Dr. Worm's face. Like, that dude needs to be his own horror villain. That guy was terrifying.
You can just fly around the city and probably get all the negative energy.
Yeah, man. Like, he could literally just walk through the city and just revive the demon in, like, a minute.
Hi, how are you? Here, just take it. Okay, cool.
Like I said at the beginning, they're working too hard for this. There's a lot of easier ways that they can go about this.
Yeah, I gotta see this guy some more, because this face, man. Oof.
Oh, I think we figured out.
It almost kind of looks like his head is just 2 times bigger than it should be for his body.
I just, like, it's very strange, and I'm very unsettled, because I really can't, like you said, I can't tell, like, if he's wearing a mask or not. That's really what's the most unsettling about it.
His face is painted and he's wearing a helmet.
But some of these images, like hang on. I want you guys to look at that. I'm going to put it in the Discord if anyone wants to follow along with this and is not, like, driving or doing something important. Because, like, this is...
realize they'd have to listen
That's
to
all
this.
right, I'm at a red
Get
light.
out to Discord and then, scroll back.
But, like, this picture I just put up looks like he's wearing a mask of his own face.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
that's terrifying.
Because everything...
makeup is really...
But then,
the makeup is making his features very, like, plasticky, straight, boxy.
And that's just, like, what's kind of unsettling about it. It's just, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to have nightmares about this guy. I really am. And, like, you got stuff like this picture. I'm going to put another one up.
And this weird old man is Dr. Worm.
Yeah. Like this face where he's just, it's this super creepy picture. It looks like it's from the intro or something, where he's just like, I feel like he's coming for my soul.
It has sort of like a
he's coming for
low budget Ivan Ooze ripoff.
Yes.
Feel
like what Ivan Ooze dreamt of being.
Yeah.
So, it's something about him just hits that weird spot of, I don't ever want to see this man in a dark alley. Ever. Nah, man. So yeah, it's I don't know, like, I'm having a rough time today. Oh boy. I don't know what I was going to say. I really don't know what I was going to say.
Sorry, man. Just bite something. We'll get through this.
It's not working. I don't know. I got nothing.
Bite harder.
No, I'm good. That'll hurt. Shit. I got nothing. I don't know where I was going with this. And Dr. Worm
Creepy
threw me
old
off.
guy.
Yeah, Dr. Worm threw me
Plastic
off.
face. We were talking about the fire putty.
There we go, fire putty. We were talking about that stuff. What happens after the fire putty? Who was after that? Was it the screw guy dropping screws out of the sky?
I think they were kind of simultaneous.
Okay.
Maybe no, they weren't. It was separate. They figured out the fire putty dude by beating him with the water form.
Because he gets
the
first two, and then it goes to like back to the first two where he gets like Fire Kong, and then he gets the Blizzard Shark.
I think we're missing an important ability of the sword guy. He can apparently enter other people's flashbacks.
What?
The episode with the ghost, one of the police officers is talking about it, and it goes into like a almost black and white flashback, and he just casually walks into it, starts pointing at, and he points at to a woman who I guess was a putty dressed up as a woman. But yeah, he just enters it, and he can see the person, points to that person.
What? I don't remember this at all. I must have missed. How did I miss this? I don't remember this.
It's like,
I mean, that's a pretty cool power to have. To not make a big deal. We're not going to explain this, but he can do this whole time warp virtual reality thing.
Yeah, we're not.
It's not important to the show, though. Okay.
Episode 4 or 5 on our list. 4-minute mark.
Okay.
It's a flashback. It's a putty in a dress for some reason.
Just go with it.
And he walks into, he like becomes part of the flashback, points at he's like, when is this? And then the flashback ends, but he's clearly pointing at the flashback, in the flashback.
What is this?
So he can apparently see.
Episode 4. I gotta see this real quick. I apologize because this is an audio podcast, but I really need to like see this. You said 4 minutes?
Yeah, it lasts 10, like not even 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, I vaguely remember this. Why did I not? I must have been like half asleep when I watched this at like 4 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. Oh yeah,
flashback.
Look at that. Yeah, he just enters and he's like, oh yeah, what's that? Oh, we're just.
And then he becomes colored as soon.
Yeah, we're just ignoring that.
Loses his color.
It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. No, it's fine. Oh, okay.
Changing people's minds one thought bubble at a time.
There you go. We nailed it. We figured out the secret to the universe. Maybe that's his like special power and how he beats the bad guy. He just inserts himself into a flashback and like erases him.
Wouldn't that stink? 50 episodes to summon a demon king, and he's like, "Oh wait, what's that behind your thought?"
He just poofs
a quarter, and then he's just brain dead for the rest of his life.
Oh man.
Wait, how did you summon this guy again? Alright, I'm entering his flashback now. This isn't how it happened. It was love and friendship.
Duh.
You're not a demon king. You're a
unicorn.
You're a unicorn. Oh man. Oh shit.
And then every, like, what's his face? The Dr. Worm, everyone else is just kind of like, well, this sucks.
Wow.
All that negative energy for this happy crap?
This is some bullshit. Oof. Whatever. That weirdo deserves it. He deserves to be disappointed. So it looks like, from what I'm gathering here, just kind of perusing through the wiki, getting back to their forms and things, it looks like they get like a mid-season power-up. The Gunboy gets Magma, and then Ryukendo gets God Ryukendo, which kind of is just like mighty form in Kuga, if anyone has seen Kuga, where he just kind of gets like upgrade versions of all his elemental stuff. And he gets a shield. That's cute. And then he gets his final form, which is Ultimate Ryukendo. Because apparently Ultimate is better than God, so...
I was just going to say, I have God Ryukendo. Oh yeah, well, I've got Ultimate. Ah.
Oh, shit. I know at some point he gets like a double sword that he can like attach together, and his sword just becomes massive and ridiculous. I think that might be an Ultimate. I don't know, honestly. But yeah, it's... Honestly, overall, I think it's very, like, kind of stereotypical tokusatsu. Nothing wrong with that. It wasn't great, wasn't bad.
But it wasn't great.
But it wasn't great.
Yeah, I put in not bad. I enjoyed what I watched so far.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
I mean, I don't need therapy, so that's a plus. I just stopped singing.
Oh yeah, it's happening. It's gonna happen all the time.
It seems the only improvement in God mode is shoulder pads.
And the shield. See, he has more armor.
Yeah. Does he? Because I mean, like, I guess he gets like a forearm shield.
Yeah, he gets like a forearm shield. It looks like, and that his sword changes. So that's cute.
And then Ultimate, he's just gold, because that's how you roll.
Yeah. Ultimate seems to be all their final forms, and then Ryuguno gets Magna, where that's like what Ben said, his redder form.
Yeah.
They literally just kind of changed the color of his helmet, and that's about it. And he gets like yellow tracing.
I waited 30 episodes for this.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, this dude got like 7 upgrades. What the hell?
Yeah, so I still prefer fire or gun guy over sword guy.
Yeah,
I just feel like the gun guy didn't need upgrades. He was just badass to begin with.
Yeah, it's fair. I want to at least watch until they introduce the third guy, because I'm curious, because I'm sure Rob would be too. He's a crow. He's a crow man. I'm sure Rob would love that shit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, Ultimate for the gun guy is a lot more badass than the sword guy.
Let me go back and take a look at it real quick, because I went off the page.
It's like red and gold, and he's got like what looks like a cannon on his arm.
Oh, did it change? I thought it was just I thought it was literally just their regular form, but gold. Let me see. Oh shit! Yeah, wow. Yeah, he's got like a straight up arm cannon. Jesus. Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Just the way it was meant to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like that big dumb sword. I mean, I like big dumb swords, but I really like. I think that's kind of what. Good.
His sword is it just looks too toyish.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I will give it that 100% because it's very like extra for no reason. And it definitely, it looks like it was meant to be a toy. But I kind of dig it in general. Especially the second one when he gets God Ryukendo. It's like a straight up like giant broadsword. Kind of cool. But it's nowhere close to the ultimate Ryukendo sword, so it's fine. Do you guys have any like closing thoughts on this show? Anything like that?
I'll think of something.
You think of something? Okay.
Yeah, I'll go last.
Okay. What about you,
It's
Josh?
definitely better than the last couple.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Yes, definitely Ultraman. Way better than Ultraman Dyna.
At least the bad guy was actually a reason for this bad guy, other than we need a monster every week.
Yeah,
they'll just show up.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I would suggest people go watch this. Honestly, like it's an interesting little show, especially with what we've seen. So I'm probably going to continue it as I get time between other stuff we're watching and things like that. Not that I have time anymore. That's crazy. But I enjoyed what I watched. Honestly, like I had fun with it, and like it was very cheesy and like kind of doofy and slapstick comedy. but like, I found myself like awkwardly chuckling at a few of the jokes, especially like, what was it when at the end of the one where they're skulking around with the big tank, he makes some joke about like the two of them being friends and in love or something, and he just like swoons away and looks out into the sky, and then I think the gun guy makes some comment about like how ridiculous this is. I honestly like chuckled pretty hard at that. It's just like dumb funny, and it's very much like Japanese kid show humor, but it's entertaining is at the end of the day. Like there's not really much to the fight scenes. I usually talk more about fight scenes and stuff, but there's really just not a lot to these for the most part. So it's a fun watch. People should go try it out.
Except for maybe the very first with the Ryukendo.
Yeah, the very first one, because there's a lot of like putty action. I mean, there's probably more later, but a lot of it after that was just kind of like fight the big bad guys, get the new power up sort of thing. So, yeah, I would ultimately just give it a suggestion. Like, hey, go check this out. It's kind of cool. You're up. Do you have enough time to think? Do I need to stall longer? Okay.
Yeah, no. My closing thought is...
Which, we didn't even talk about it on the podcast. Let's talk about that real quick.
All right, we'll close off with that one.
Yeah.
So, was it episode 9?
Yeah, but we didn't actually explain
we hinted at it, but the whole point of that is episode 9 starts off with an above shot of the two heroes essentially just staring at a giant marble bust, and it grows a face, a really creepy, poorly designed face.
Yeah,
that will haunt my nightmares.
But no, there's steps before that though. It does that shot, and they're just kind of like looking at this thing, talking. It fades and then cuts back up, and it's a little bit farther back. And they make like another comment of like, I don't know what this is. What are we supposed to do with this? And then it does it like a third time.
I don't know.
And then it does it. It's like, I don't know. And then it cuts to the opposite angle, and it's just this huge like marble statue thing with boobs and a head
and one arm.
Yeah.
No face, no eyes, nothing.
No face, no nothing. It's just boobs on top of like weird rocks.
They're like, okay, well,
wait. It has a head. It does have a head.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a face though. No face or eyes. It's just flat. And then it pops 2 eyes out after they shoot it, and they're like, oh wait, it's doing something. And then it just starts singing the worst song ever.
It actually is like halfway through the episode before it actually starts singing.
Yeah. It's
also, it just seems like, wait, why did they show up to this thing in their armor? It looks like someone's bad attempt at art.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I lived in a world with demons and monsters and I just saw a 10-story boob,
4-story,
I'd probably show up with my armor on just in case.
Show up with a lion ready to rock too.
Even Fire Kong gets
minute.
angry at it.
If this thing appeared in our world, we would just be going there and taking selfies. Come on.
Because we're American.
No, I've seen too many tokus to know never to do that. I will never take a selfie.
I've seen tokus where they take selfies in the tokusatsu, so it seems actually rather more safe than you realize.
That's pretty much how they survived all the fights in, what was that movie we watched? Zeo, whatever. I don't know. Whatever that Zeo movie was we watched that was total crap. That's pretty much how they survived the fights.
Where they didn't realize everything, they just start taking selfies with the creature.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's fine.
Sounds right. But it's all right, because it's okay. Like, no one has to worry because his enemy is a bell. It's about the size of like a normal human body on a mountaintop 7 miles away. It's literally singing. You just hear ding, and everyone's like, "Oh, weird! That excruciatingly painful song that was melting my brain is gone."
It's over. It's being
what's even better
by this tiny bell.
What's funny is the face on the statue is just like a clean marble face with a mouth and eyes.
Yeah.
But once they start to ring the bell, the statue gets angry. So the gun Ryukendo dude tries to shoot the statue in the face, and right as he shoots, it moves its arm and blocks, and just stares at him, and the statue's head breaks apart, does a full 360 spin, and lands back again, but now it's got a frowny face and like cracks in its eyes, and it's just like, no one ever lets me sing. Trying to shoot me in the face. I'll show you guys.
My favorite part is while it's singing, it has this like really awkward lip quiver. Like, that was my favorite part. It's very strange looking.
So actually, shooting it isn't what gives it the eye. That the ringing the bell actually makes it wake up.
Oh,
it just completely ignores the attacks.
So the bell both awakens it and kills it.
Got it.
Oh, Lord.
It also seems to be the bell also seems to affect the gorilla fire thing.
Episode Kong.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Like, they were
Episode Kong. Oh, I'm so tired.
Episode Kong Fire 2.
They start ringing it, and the gorilla just kind of collapses, like it just had an aneurysm or something. And it's like, nope, done.
Was that after he tried like punching a statue that was 5,000 times bigger than him?
Yes.
Yes, because the gorilla is going at the statue, then they ring it, then the gorilla has a stroke and falls down, and then the eyes open.
Yep. And that's when the head spins around and gets all sad.
Yep. Nice. This movie or
I
show.
don't think actually the head spins around in this part. I think they must ring this bell multiple times in this episode.
Yeah, the guy almost dies, and then that's when he summons his device back, and then once it gets to him, the other guy tries to shoot the statue in the face, and it blocks it, and then it gets angry. And it drops a pitch.
Show's very strange. Anyone listening to this is probably like, what the fuck?
Dr. Worm statue?
Dr. Worm statue, man? Jack Moon statues?
Jack Moon, not Batman.
Batman.
It's the Batman who laughed.
This is, also I found out, just kind of looking at wiki stuff, this is a prequel, an actual prequel to Tamika Hero Rescue Force, which is another tokusatsu that's on our list. We'll maybe watch it eventually. But it is an actual prequel where the same actors like reprise their roles just as normal policemen. So I thought that was a fun little fact.
Okay, so here I'm speeding through this episode to figure all this stuff out. Afro guy hits the bell. That's what makes the eyes appear. Then later on, cop guy hits the bell. That's what causes the head to spin around.
Right, but cop guy is the main hero. Yeah.
But I'm just talking about the eyes appear because Afro guy hits the bell.
Yeah.
Of course he does, because he's always there. He's the main villain, I'm telling you. He's the Demon King.
And I
think he's racist.
I think, though, like, from what I remember of watching that episode, it's an awkward happening of him ringing the bell. Like, he's got his fro and his mustache, and it's almost like an intro to a song. Like, he just smiles at the camera really awkwardly, bobbing his head back and forth, and, like, hits the bell and then disappears for the rest of the episode. Just like, hey, see that statue? Yep. Ding! All right, I'm out.
Oh Lord, go watch Madan Senki Ryukendo. It's a time. It's a time. I'm just kidding. It's just a time. Should we leave it at that? I think I don't really have anything else honestly to say on the show. I really just want to talk about that statue.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And I've sung all I can sing. Or have I? Roll credits!
Oh, let's talk about that for a second, because this credit scene thing that they play is the weirdest shit in the world with the soccer ball. What? So their like credit scene, if the episode doesn't just like bleed into it, is Ryukendo and Ryugono like playing soccer against some putties. And there's just like very awkward close-up shot of them covering their genitals with their hands, and like shifting around a little bit, and then they do like a super toku kick and score a goal, and that's just the scene that they play while they roll credits on an episode.
Kind of nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. They're winning. That's nice.
They're becoming friends.
Yeah,
That's nice.
It's very strange, but that was the last thing I wanted to mention. So let's roll for the next review, shall we? So like I said in the beginning,
rider kick that finished that soccer scene.
Yeah, that was a straight up rider kick. To figure out what we watch, we have a list of 402. I found the actual number. It's 402. Different shows, movies, animes inspired by Toku, all that kind of fun stuff we're going to review. And if it's a series, we typically do the first 10 episodes and kind of go from there. So let's random number generate this bitch. Here we go. Can I get a drum roll?
VR Troopers, come on, VR Troopers.
Good drum roll. 105. Let's see what we got. Yeah.
Come on, VR Troopers.
Tentai Senshi Sunred 2. I've literally never heard of this before in my life. So,
I'm still not sure I've heard of it. What's that one more time?
Tentai Senshi Sunred 2.
Posted in
10 times.
I'm going to put it right in the Discord. Yep.
Red. Okay.
Senshi Sunred 2. It probably would help if we saw the first one, but whatever. It's a show. It looks like it's an anime. Ooh, we're doing our first anime. That's cool. Yeah, so that's what we're going to review for the next episode. Let me get this.
Post it.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So
faster, damn it, faster.
Listen, I can only do so many things at once. So if you guys enjoyed it, thank you for watching, or listening, whatever we do anymore. We are Tokudon. I'm losing the outro here. We are Tokudon. You can follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and all this other kind of stuff. Social medias and all that kind of thing. You can follow me at Kaiju Karudu on just about everything that's important. Not Twitter. I mean, I have a Twitter, but it's not important. So, who are you guys?
I'm Ben.
Confused.
Wow, you're
I'm only on
confused.
Discord, but not Datcord.
Discord, yeah. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, that was terrible. Oh man, I need to sleep. Who are you, Josh?
I'm Josh. I'm Clay, PhD on most social medias that you can find me on.
Yeah. We're going to try and hopefully get back to a more regular schedule as we get through the holidays here. Hopefully we'll get back to doing it every week or so. So just bear with us as we're recording while we can.
Is this?
I don't know.
It's not easy to die and go to a shadow realm and come back.
It's not, but I honestly don't know what this is, and I'm kind of scared and excited at the same time.
It looks like One Punch Man for Kamen Rider.
That or like it almost looks like it should be an Adult Swim cartoon. Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you guys for listening. It's been for real, I guess. Bye.